Hey everyone, welcome back. And I hope this doesn't feel like a rerun, but until my bits and bites and side by side meats are gone, I'm going to keep doing this every week. So I'm sharing with you, going through the bits and bites bin as well as the big meat bin that was at the bottom of the side by side. And I'm going to come up with a meal plan for the week. I wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts on how I go at my meal planning. Right now, I'm using at least 2 things from my Bits and Bites bin. I'm also going to use at least 2 bags of frozen veggies every week. Also, after watching another YouTuber's channel today, Harvest Moon Farms KC, I'll link it down below. In the month of January, they tried 10 new recipes, and I said, oh, that's such a great idea. Make this use it up challenge a little more fun if we can, right? So every week I'm going to try to do at least one new recipe in the week's meal plan. I'm also going to try to use pasta once a week, a can of cream soup, also a bag of ready-to-eat rice, and a bag of instant mashed potatoes. Because in calculating how often I have used those in the month of January, I got to get with it to get rid of all that stuff by June. Try to kind of mix up the meats. I try not to do chicken every night in a row. And I also try to mix up the flavor profiles. So I've already pulled out these bits and bites of bacon. This is the last of my bits and bites bacon, but I have 3 whole packages in the freezer still, regular bacon. And then this is about maybe a third of a package of peppered bacon. And because it's a cold for us in South Florida, blustery day today, the high is only 72 and very windy for us for this time of year. So I'm going to make some chicken bacon corn chowder soup. And the peppery bacon will go in the soup because I've learned that really gives it such a great flavor. And then the regular bacon will just be for topping the soup. I've got a couple of partial packages of brats. So I think I'm going to do brats one night this week because I bought some hot dog buns last week that we never got around to using. Chicken breakfast sausages. I think I'll pull those out and make those with pancakes tomorrow morning. I've got a couple pounds of ground beef in there, a bunch of shrimp, chicken, a little bit of chicken. Okay, so one thing I have on the menu this week is Italian grilled chicken with spaghetti and veg. So I'm going to pull that for that night. And another thing I want to make tomorrow, because it takes a little time, it's not something I want to make during the week, is curried chicken and vegetables in the crock pot, because tomorrow is supposed to be cool and very rainy all day as well. I don't know why, but ever since the Christmas holiday, every weekend the weather's been on the cool side, the gloomy side, but during the week it's beautiful, right? Murphy's Law. Hopefully, a couple more weeks we'll get back to the good weather, because next weekend, looking ahead at the weather, it's only supposed to be 70 both days here and rainy. So if they've got that right, it will be on like round 5 of that kind of weather. But I'm going to use these pre-cooked garbanzo beans that have been rolling around in the freezer for I don't know how long. I didn't put a date on those, at least 6 months. I'm going to make some homemade falafels to go with the curried chicken. We just love those. All right, so that's it, I think, for pulling out of the bits and bites bin for this week. I'll have another go at that next week. And I pulled out my pie crust, and I'm realizing I should have labeled these suckers. One is just a regular pie crust, and the other one is supposedly those mini pie crusts. I guess it doesn't really matter, but the mini pie crust one does have 7 little muffin tin perforations. Anyway, where I'm going with this is I'm going to make that quiche that I set out to make last weekend. Now I'm going to go through this little basket of fruit. I think I might try to make something like some strawberry bars or something because I have a lot of frozen strawberries in here. We're really not good about making smoothies, which I'm sure is what we threw these in the freezer for before they go bad. And this is from August of 21. So a year and a half old. I didn't put a date on this one, so who knows, but they look like they're in decent shape. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna thaw those out and a cup of golden raisins. I saved 2 cups from when we did our turkey breast last week, and I think I'm just gonna thaw this out and make another round of that curried turkey salad that you saw if you watched a prior video. I only had a couple of servings of it because Gabby had one as well. And it was tasting wonderful to me, so I'm just going to use these up along with some of that celery I threw in the freezer. I've never tried making my curried turkey salad with frozen celery, but I'm going to use half this bag that I put in the freezer last week. I'll still have half left for whatever down the road. This is my veggie bits and bites bin. So I pulled some celery, so that's one. Some black beans. I'm going to pull these black beans out because we're going to have carne asada street tacos either tonight or tomorrow. Pico de gallo to go with our street tacos. So I'm going to use part of this jalapeno. Again, we're spice wimps, so probably only a third of that jalapeno. And I don't make much pico de gallo for 3 people because you know how that is. It doesn't taste good left over. But I'll put that in the bin. Half this bag of the sun-dried tomatoes I got from our local farmers market in the spaghetti dish I'm going to do later in the week with the grilled chicken. But I think I might go ahead and put some of these in the quiche. I think that will be delicious. So I'm going to get those out. Okay, so that's probably the best I can do on the stuffed mushrooms. I think I might have to plan to make those for the Super Bowl. I'll be right back. I gotta write that on my note or I'll forget it. And this little TV dinner looking thing is a green bean dish from Aldi. It's a little pricey, like $4, but it comes with chopped red onions, some cashews, and a little sauce packet. It's really good. It's just about the right amount for our little family. So I think I'll make that to grilled chicken and the spaghetti. So I'll put that in my little spot where I put things that I'm going to use. So that's going to go there. Okay. So that was a pretty good round of going through things. And now I'm going to pull out some of the bagged veggie bin and pick out some stuff to go with dinner this week to put in my easy grab spot. All right, so now we have this big bin of vegetables, of which I have 4 or 5, 2 in my freezer here in the kitchen and 3 out in the deep freezer. Okay, so for the carne asada, I like to do some stir-fry veg. So I think I will plan to use these, even though I still have a few fresh peppers. I'm going to use some of those to make the chicken curry tomorrow. And I have a few more peppers growing out there, but I don't think they'll really be ready for another week. So I think I'll just use this to get it out of my freezer. And the spinach, pull this out for the quiche today. It's half a bag of frozen spinach. When I do my meal planning for the week, because I work outside the home with a long commute full time, I like to have at least 2 meals on the meal plan for the week that are really quick and easy to pull together. So the brats and tots will obviously be a good one. A new recipe for us. It's called Mama's Chicken and Rice. It looks very, very basic, but it will allow me to use 2 cans of the cream of chicken soup and some chicken out of the freezer and rice. I have tons of that. So for veggies to go with those meals, the Mama's chicken and rice is really, plain other than a little seasoning. See if I've got anything interesting in here. Oh yeah, some buffalo cauliflower wings. They're good flavor, the opposite of the comfort food of the chicken and rice. And then the brats and tots. Maybe I'll put some peas on the side just to say they've got some green veggies going. But I put a dent in it. Go me. Okay, guys, so week 6, February 4th through the 10th, here's the game plan. I start meal planning on Saturday. Am I the only one that's annoyed with the old school way of doing calendars where they break up the weekend, Sunday on one side and Saturday on the other? Like, come on, man, it's the 21st century. Let's put Saturday and Sunday next to each other. But oh well, I digress. So, the game plan is, as I said, the soup for lunch today, hopefully the carne asada tonight, the chicken curry, and I have pita bread I really need to be using up that I'll serve on the side with that. Then to mix up the flavor profiles, I'll do brats and tots on Monday. The girls work all day Monday, I work all day, so that will be a good one to do. And the other factor in meal planning is kitchen fatigue, right? After I do all this meal prepping and cooking this weekend, I'll be ready to not do much on Monday, I'm sure. And then Tuesday, the Italian grilled chicken and the spaghetti, that comes together really quick. It's a little bit of prep time, maybe 20 minutes. And then yo-yo, meaning you're on your own Wednesday. It'll either be leftovers. I think the girls might have a half day of school that day. Chances are they'll end up feeding themselves. So that's the plan there. And then Thursday, we're going to do that Mama's chicken and rice with the buffalo cauliflower and maybe a salad out of the garden. And then when I got to writing this down, I realized, okay, we have a lot of chicken here. And on Friday, I think I'm going to make meatloaf. Yeah, meatloaf with a bag of the instant mashed and some mixed veggies out of the freezer. Meatloaf is real quick to prep, but it just takes a while to cook, but that's okay. It'll be a Friday. And then the meal prepping I'm doing this weekend, the quiche, the soup, cornbread to go with the soup. I'll make the kale salad tomorrow for work, and then also the curried turkey salad. I forgot to mention in digging around, I realized tucked over in a back corner of the kitchen, we still had a big bottle of apple cider left. And I looked, it says it doesn't expire until August of 23. So I'm going to make some apple cider donuts today. I just love those things. And it's nice and cool out. And then maybe I'll make the strawberry bars either today or tomorrow. Then I've got to make another round of chicken for the cats. So that's the game plan, you guys. Stoop and the quiche were wonderful. Thanks for watching.